welcome to the Void. I'd say grab a chair, but right now it's more like find a chair. Sorry about that. Anyways, today, this video, we're talking about Dark Souls. Well, we're talking about actually how to get a certain build in Dark Souls. See, there are a lot of tutorials out there and how to do this out there in Dark Souls, but none of them cover stuff in past New Game Plus 7. That's what this is for. This is a comprehensive guide to get a build that works past New Game Plus 7, and in this video we're going to be covering how to get every single item that you need for that build. There will be videos after this for how to kill each specific boss, but all of the videos will use things from this build. This video will cover how to get every single item, how to get every single spell, and how to get every single ring that you will need to clear the game consistently past New Game Plus 7. How you stat yourself is your own problem, and this isn't a tutorial on how to go through the world. However, it is just a tutorial on how to find these specific items and where you need to find them. Also what you need to do to get them, because some of them are quest items. But without further ado, let's get into it. Okay, so rather than starting at Firelink, we're starting here because it's a really good vantage point. Now just, give me a second while I put on some music. There we go. Alright, and let's take off. First, we're going to drop down here and run over to our boy Yol of Londor. We're going to accept his services and skip through his dialogue and then keep running. A lot of this game is running, just a small disclaimer. And another small disclaimer, I apologize to anyone who might have epilepsy, because eventually this does get very flashy. Drop down here and light this bonfire after dropping some frames and struggling to walk there. Now glitch out while you sit down. Lovely game this. And run up here. You can kill these guys if you want to. Personally I did because screw 'em. But mainly we want to get to this guy. This is Cornix. He is the only Pyromancer NPC in the game. Well, more importantly, he's the only NPC that can give you a Pyromancer's Flame. You're going to talk to him and do what I should have done, which is skip through all of his dialogue. I didn't do that because I'm an idiot and I forgot that I was recording. So now we have to watch this, and it's almost done, don't worry about it. But, there we go, we'll find him later at Firelink and we'll deal with him then. And he's off. This over here is a hand axe. It's pretty useful, but it's not useful for this build. That's a based message. Now we have to move on to something a bit more difficult, namely the first boss that I'm going to cover. And I'm going to cover him in this video. If none of you know what he is, he's Cursed Rider Greatwood. So I'm going to cover him in this video. We're just going to run along and go through his boss fight really quickly. Also, here you will get invaded by Holy Knight Huldrych, and if you want to get through that door but you don't want to get hit, just keep rolling into the enemies. It will eventually stagger them. Open that door, walk through here. Make sure you have everything on that you should have on, and go to kill Big Tree. Now, I'm covering this boss fight here, and I'm not going to cover the rest of the boss fights in this episode at all. This episode is primarily to get all of the items you require to make the build to kill all the bosses. But the problem with Cursed Rider Greatwood is that he sucks. Namely in the fact that he's a weak point boss. So you wind up with a lot of situations where you just kind of can't reach his weak points. And with other bosses, it's dodge all of these delicate attacks until you can hit them real good. With this boss, it's dodge all of these massive attacks until you can hit them in specific spots. But as you can see, I'm aiming for pustules. There's one in his ankle, which I just broke. There's one in his hand, which is over there. And then there's the ones in his belly. You want to break the ones in his belly last. This is the actual strategy, and it's the only way to kill him. But you want to break the ones in his belly last, because breaking the ones in his belly sets him into second phase. So what we're doing is we are going to go around and try to knock the ones off his hand. So if he just keeps it down there, okay. If he just, oh, gotta walk back over there. Just give me a second. If he just keeps it put down, oh, if he just puts his hand down, there we go. Good boy. And then boom. Now as you can see, we've chunked his health twice. Now we're gonna chug and start hammering away at these, or I guess hacking away because we're using an axe. Hacking away at these pustules on his belly. Second phase for this boss isn't much different. It's just the fact that now he has a big old hand coming out of his belly. But the main thing you want to aim for, actually, is his vulnerable spot on his back. This is what I keep going after in this shot. You'll see that there are some exposed pustules that just sit on the base of his back. What you want to do is you want to aim for those and hit them. The problem is that they gave him a big old AoE attack that goes right around his body at almost all times, which really, really sucks, because if you're aiming for that, it basically auto-baits out that attack, and then you just can't hit him, whether it be in front of him or not. See? Soup. AoE, garbage attack. But anyways, just stay persistent, keep trying to do it, and eventually it'll work. There we go. Now that the pustules in his back are broken, there are some up on the top of his head, but you can only reach him when he does that laydown attack that he did earlier. And then now you want to go for the belly. Don't get hit by the hand, though. Don't get hit by the other hand either. I'm dead now. Cool. That's fun. This is a fun game. This is a fun boss. I like it. I like it a lot. Let's try killing him at light speed, because, I mean, we already get the gist. It's a really simple weak point boss. That's why I'm covering him in the basic tutorial guide. Just run up and do some stuff, and I'll get back to you when he's done. I beat him off camera, there's no footage of this. Anyways, moving on, let's go. Run across the bridge, run into this building. There's a drop that I'm going to take. Don't take it unless you have the silver cat ring. You will die on that elevator. Grab the ember, pass by Minivort. We don't need to kill him yet. We're going to do that later. Light this bonfire and take a quick break. And then run down the road of sacrifices. Now that we are here, we're going to go kill Crystal Sage and Deacons, but they're not important to getting items, so I'm not going to cover them quite yet. Instead, we're going to clip to getting Obrecht of Windhelm. Now, Obrecht is in a weird spot. If you run up these stairs that you'd take to get to Crystal, then run off to the left, he's up on the loft area. You talk to him, and then you're going to make him a promise. It's a weird promise, but it's a promise that you will give him knowledge if he teaches you sorceries. This is a promise that you actually have to keep. It's not like other NPCs in this game. If you don't get him some sort of scroll before meeting the Abyss Watchers, you will lose him as an NPC. He walks away. But the funny thing is that the scroll we need is from the Abyss Watchers area. Now we're going to talk to Yol. And we're going to cover some of the NPCs we've gotten so far. Yol gives you 5 free levels every new game. He's extremely useful, but the thing is that you need to have high hollowing to get them. Now we're going to go over and talk to Cornix. As you can see, Cornix gives you a Pyromancer Flame. This is useful for one thing, because we're going to want to learn Pyromancies and learn Fire Surge. This is the only Pyromancy you'll need, unless you want to do some mad PvP play. You can also buy the Pyromancer card from him. And now over here is, of course, Obrecht, and we don't need anything from him quite yet. So we're going to run up, and we're going to run out into Farron Swamp next. Now, a small thing here. I got lost, so we're cutting to when I succeeded. You're going to want to run along this right wall until you come across a cave. And I'll show you where that cave is when I slow down. Here it is. Alright, and then roll into the cave. And right on that body is the golden scroll. That's the scroll we need. And in this is a decent set of armor. Now go back to Firelink. Now that we're back at Firelink, we can drop down and talk to Obrecht. You're going to want to give him the sorcery scroll. He'll talk about it for a second, you can skip through the dialogue, but now he'll stay here. And also now we need to buy some scrolls from him, so let me eat some souls really quick. There we go. Now let's cover the sorceries we need to buy. First up is... wait a second, let me check the wiki. I think I got this, but I think it's the Fair and Flash Sword, Aerial Decoy, Hidden Body, Spook, and something else. 1 second. Here, let's buy Spook. Fair and Flash Sword. The ones that we've already covered. Aerial Decoy, yep. And Hidden Body. And then... oh, Pestilent Mist. That is the next one. Yes, this is an incredibly useful spell. We will use this later. Very often. Now if we just talk to him, he will wind up giving you the Young Dragon Crest Ring, which is great. And then now if we talk to him again, we get the Slumbering Dragon Crest Ring. Yay! The Young Dragon Crest Ring is great because it minorly boosts sorceries, and that stacks with the Old Dragon Crest Ring or the Bellowing Dragon Crest Ring, which we'll get later. The Slumbering Dragon Crest Ring makes you stay quiet, which allows you to do a bunch of the stuff that I pull off here. Now what you're going to want to do is unlight all 3 towers in Fair and Keep, and then proceed on to killing the boss. Here we go, open their big door, and this is a bit more like interactive theater. You can help if you really want to, but you don't gotta. And boom jams, they're dead. Sweet. Now into the catacombs after I fiddle with my rings. I'd also like to apologize for the fact that my heater just turned on. You might be able to hear it in the background if you have eagle ears. Now your game's gonna crash. Sweet dropping frames action. This is what happens apparently if you start to load your game after your game has crashed and immediately try to record it again. Now this next fight is a bit more like interactive theater too. You get to watch a Skeleton die, and then that's it. Now here's a tricky bit that I'm actually going to cover in detail. After you light this bonfire, you're going to want to sit down because you want to restore everything that you just spent killing the boss, because there is actually a boss to kill. And you're going to want to run down to that bridge again. Break the bridge and then climb down it, and then walk over here. You're going to want to kill this demon. The easiest way to do it is by using Pestilent Mist and Hidden Body, because he won't be able to see you. So, the easiest way I found to do it personally is by baiting him over by having him kill that skeleton. And now he's in a perfect spot for you to just be able to point and click with Pestilent Mist, really. So this is going to take some time, but you can get it done pretty easily. Also, most enemies, remarkably enough, walk into Pestilent Mist if you're invisible. I don't know why, but they do. Now he's dead, and we have the soul of a demon. We're going to want to transpose that into the demon's great axe, after giving the transposing kiln that we got from Tree to the exiled king. Now back to Wolnir's bonfire, and up through Irithyll. What a gorgeous view. Now there's a guy on this bridge that you have to kill. This is where I'm going to start narrating a bit more, but this guy, you have to kill him. So bonk him to death. This took me about 11 tries. I'm going to skip to the part where he's dead. There we go. And then you're going to light this bonfire. This next part doesn't work. Now what we're going to do is we're going to try and get the silver cat ring. So we have to talk to Cirrus here. Skip through her dialogue. And then go over to the Road of Sacrifices. Also now we can kill this man. The easiest way I found of doing it is, you probably already guessed, turn invisible and use Pestilent Mist. It's just a real easy way to kill somebody. Now we're going to run down all the way to the halfway fortress. If you got that bonfire, unlike me, you don't have to run. Talk to Anri of Astoria here once. That's all you need to do, unless you want to go through his or her quest. Now we're going to go to Farron Keep, and we're going to go along that same right wall, but we're not going to go to the cave. Instead, we're going to try and find a ladder. There it is. Now we're going to climb the ladder at light speeds. Here's Epilepsy. There you go. Light this bonfire, and this is where Old Wolf Farron is if you want to get the Old Wolf Farron pact. Now you're going to kill this guy because he gives you some good Titanite, and then this is a false wall, so we're going to break it. We need these. These are the Dream Chaser's ashes. We will give them to the Shrine Handmaiden. Boom. Now, skip through her dialogue, give her the ashes, the Dream Chaser's ashes. I also here gave her the Grave Warden ashes, that's why we're still here, because I was going to investigate what those get you. Apparently, it is not a lot. Now you're going to want to reload Firelink and skip through all of Cirrus's dialogue again. If you don't already have it, this is where you get the Dark Moon loyalty gesture. And then again, you are going to want to reload Firelink. This time it is entirely to make sure that she is gone, that she is off of those stairs. Now you can go back to Irithyll. Once at Irithyll, you're going to want to go down to the bridge, and there should be a summon sign for you. There it is. You're going to want to touch this, and then yes, be summoned into another world as a phantom. Here you will help Cirrus kill a serial killer, which is pretty based, so let's bonk him to death. Now go back to Firelink. Also, fun fact about that fight, apparently, if you wind up dying, and if Cirrus winds up dying, but it still says duty fulfilled, that means that you have won. You just have. It just works. Now you skip through her dialogue and she gives you the Silver Cat Ring. This is very useful. It nullifies any amount of fall damage you would have taken. Unless the fall damage would have killed you. Now we're just going to run through Irithyll, which isn't that exciting, but have fun and watch as I drop frames. Oh, and real quick, if you didn't happen to kill Rat on the bridge, he will show up here. You can still kill him here and Cirrus will still work. It's just that it's a bit of a harder arena. Also, you're going to want to grab that bonfire. We'll be using it later. Now this next bit is a little tough. You're going to want to drop down here, and then here is the Ring of the Sun's Firstborn. This is very useful. It's the Greatly Buff's Sorceries. No, it's the Greatly Buff's Miracles Ring. And this is the Chloranthy Ring +1. This is useful if you don't want to go to the DLC. Now, real quick, I pulled a Dumbo, and I didn't get this shortcut here, so we're going to go do that now. This shortcut is really handy, I find, and I'm showing it here because it's extremely handy in the fact that it just lets you go straight back to the Church of Yorshka bonfire without having to go around that entire loop. Now let's kill us some Pontiff. Cool, he's dead. Now let's go kill us some Eldritch. Now we're going down from that distant manor bonfire. Just run through the Erythrol Valley dungeon, and yeah, we're going to cover some stuff here actually. So we're going to get running and just hide from all of the wardens, otherwise they will reduce your max HP. Not permanently, but for that. That is the jailbreaker's key. We will want to use it on the door over here. Crack the door open, drop down one ledge, and then pick up this key, Bellowing Dragoncrest Ring, greatly buffs sorceries. Now, this is a part later in the Erythrol dungeon that you will notice as soon as you get here. That's why I cut to it here. And I opened the wrong chest, so I have to kill these guys really fast. I think that's all of them. Yep, okay, we're good. Now, the other one on the left is a mimic, so we're just going to want to pestilent that thing to death. I'm pretty sure you have to hide from them, but I'm not entirely certain. Okay, turns out it doesn't matter, so just kill it, basically. Sit here and use your Pestilent Mist. And it's dead. Sweet. Now, pro tip here, and the reason that I'm not going to pick up that item right now, is because Pestilent Mist, if it's cast by you, deals damage to you as well. Now we're going to go kill Yorm. This is the Storm Whirler. It's at the back end of Yorm's arena, and it's the only way to kill him, so of course it's a part of this build. This is another part in the Erythrol dungeon. You're going to want to sit here with the Path of the Dragon emote. You get this after killing Osiris. Once you get up Dancer's Ladder, he's to the left in the Consumed King's Garden. I'm not going to show you how to kill him, because I hate the boss. And I'm not going to show you this cutscene, because it is beautiful. But this is Archdragon Peak. We need to kill the Ancient Wyvern and get some other things here. First step is over here. This is the Lightning Clutch Ring, so you're going to want to stab this guy in the back just to get rid of him very quickly. And then grab this Lightning Clutch. Sweet. Now drop some frames as you kill a dragon. Yeah, killing a dragon in basically a pixel art game. Nice. That's a fun concept. Pixel art Dark Souls. Anyways, up here, run around. This guy can see through invisibility, but you can kill him real quick. Now this guy, you will want to kill him as well, because we want to steal his sword. And guess how we're going to kill him? That's right, if you guessed, staying invisible and casting Pestilent Mist, you've won today's prize. What is today's prize, you may ask? This man's sword. Now we have the Drakeblood Greatsword. It's a naturally lightning dealing sword that you can put a lightning gem on. Whoopee. It's a really good traversing sword, and it's really nice if you want to get up close and personal with lightning weak bosses, which most bosses in this game are weak to. Now run up here. It's easier to kill the lady than to go through a dialogue. And let's nuke Dancer. Dancer has been slain. Perfect. Now light the bonfire and run through all of Lothric Castle. Just a small mark. There's nothing important here. This elevator here goes back to Dancer. It's in that room with the knight looking over the coffins, and now we're just going to glitch the boss fight a bit. There we go. Drop some frames as the dragon tries to render. Always excellent. And light this bonfire. It's the first one you'll see in a while, or I should say the last one you'll see in a while, as there aren't many in the Grand Arc. Is that a bonfire? Now over here, this is just to the right of the big old tub of wax. In these bookshelves, you're going to want to stay away from this guy because the guys with the red eyes can see through invisibility a bit better than the guys without. And you're just going to want to kind of walk around him very covertly because they deal a lot of damage. These are like berserkers. And this is the crystal chime. This casts both sorceries and miracles. It's the one conduit I use for everything since it's basically tier 3 on both lists. That is, of course, lists for miracle casting items and sorcery casting items. Now we're going to set that elevator, walk in here, and we're going to simply kill Lorien and Lothric. It's a very easy battle, trust me. Now set up all of the heads of all of the enemies on the thrones. Before you do this, since I didn't actually get the transposing kill and I lied to you, you're going to want to get the Dragon Slayer's Great Axe from the Exiled King, the only king sitting on his throne, and you're going to want to get the Demon's Great Axe. These two axes are pretty vital to most of the builds, so you're going to want to get them before you light this bonfire and kill everyone sitting on those chairs. Now light this as a pit stop, and we're going to go cover some stuff that isn't technically timed in the game. First up is Arena of Kaurm. We're going to want to drop down here. Now that we have the Silvercat ring, we can take that plunge. Now, real quick, I did get lost, so please don't laugh at me in the comments. But this is also the place that you find the loincloth, which may as well be crucial to this game, because, you know, you want to be able to crap on the go, and you don't want anything keeping the poo in. Now go through here and climb up this ladder. And here's Arena of Calm. Skip through all of her dialogue, and you want to touch her to let you know that you're there, and then you want to talk to her again after she gives you the prayer emote. And let's kill this guy at lightspeed really quick. There we go, he's dead. Talk to her again and accept her services, and she'll come to Firelink like the rest of the NPCs. Now, this is how to get Morn's Ring. This is just off the right of the bridge on the Road of Sacrifices, and this is one of the reasons that I love Dark Souls. I hope everyone saw that. Kill the other dog. This technically is on another playthrough though, so I can't do anything with this divine tome I just found, which sucks. I don't know what's on it, but you guys could figure it out. And here's Morn's Ring. Minorly buffs miracles. That stacks with the Sun Princess Ring. And as I said, this is on a new save, so I have no use for that tome, so might as well end it. Now that we're back in the right save, in the right new game, just sit down here, look at what you have, sort out your storage box, because I forgot I was recording. Alright, get up and go over here. We're going to want to talk to Uriah of Londor. From her, we're going to buy the Londor Divine Tome, or Londor Braille Divine Tome. Now we're going to run over to Arena of Kaurm. Boom. Give her the tome. She will protest in teaching the miracles, but she will still take the tome. The only thing that you want to learn from it, though, is Vow of Silence. It's the only useful spell in the book. The others are, like Darkblade is alright, but it's the only one that's useful for this build again. Now we're going to run off to the bonfire, and yeah, now instead of killing Solar Cinder, we're going to want to go to the Dread Keep, because there's some items we need there. This is the DLC that allows you to fight Gale. It's the Ringed City DLC. And here's a quick little side note. Don't do what I do all the time unless you really want to. This is me getting genuinely lost and just exploring. Do that in Dark Souls. The world is so big that you can, and I feel like I need to make this disclaimer. I go through the game on repeat because I find it funny. Now we're going to go up here and get back to business. Break through an illusionary wall here, and climb up all of these stairs. And then behind these tables, is this spell. It's called Great Soldrix. It's one of the most powerful dark spells in the game, and a lot of things in this game are weak to dark. And speaking of exploring, I never knew that this item was here, but now I have a covetous silver serpent ring. +3. The more you know. Also, I thought that was a fake wall. Don't judge me. Now, get back to running. Kill this guy to kill an angel. And real quick, turning invisible keeps the angel fire off of you. This is just a pro tip. As you can see, now that we're invisible, the angel can't see us. Now here I tried to screw under the dagger that I just found, but I forgot that the angel could technically see me and I almost died. Alright, now we're going to deal with this professionally. We're going to run up this hill and up here, and then we're going to want to kill this guy to get rid of that angel. Now we can test out the dagger that we just found. I've come to the verdict that it is cool. Now, this next bit is a bit trying, viewer, and I'm doing it for you because I love my fan base. That doesn't exist yet. I'm going to kill demon princes. These are by far, in my opinion, the most irritating bosses in the game. I say that because they are, in fact, quite annoying, and I hate killing them. But for the sake of this ultimate guide, I am going to put my sanity on the line and probably get back nothing from the hours and hours that I have spent trying to kill these demons. And as with the previous bosses, I will cut back when I'm done killing them. I must muster up the courage. Here we go. I'll see you later. I have attempted killing them 50 times. My soul has been severed into several pieces, but now I can continue this guide. Okay. Now that we're actually in the Ringed City, we can run through all of this. Just avoid the archers, and they can see through invisibility, just letting you know. Alright, and now we're at an important bit. See that wall? We're going to want to break it. It's an illusion. Kill this dude, but he's not the important bit yet. Break this wall, because it's also an illusion, and that's a pretty good soul, but we're going to break this wall too. This is Lightning Arrow. It is a very useful spell, and it's part of my arsenal because it's a very quick lightning spell. Next up, use this elevator and see that most of your work was in vain, because now you're at that one bonfire you lit at the beginning of this, and drop down here, and down here, and grab this. This exists on New Game 1, by the way. It's the Chloranthy Ring +3. You can get this whenever you want to. And that's the end. That is all of the items and rings and spells that you will need to clear the game. I didn't cover armor, because armor in this game is just fashion souls, but I should also mark that, like I said at the beginning, this is the first episode of hopefully a series. After this, I will cover how to kill each boss independently with this build, or parts of this build, I should say. Also, if you like relaxing content like this, go check me out on Twitch, because I stream there most days out of the week. But until then, I'll see you later.